guys, and welcome back. This is Chosen Architect, or I should say Santa, or Jolly Tech? Jolly Tech, that's what I am. But today, we're going to be getting a little bit crafty and diving into the mod Create. So, I hope you guys are ready. So guys, finally you can be super happy with me. I have now killed enough bats in order to get ourselves going and prevent mobs from spawning on our base. It's a long time coming. It only took 30 plus episodes to get it done, but we can now make a mega torch from Torch Masters. So this torch took me a while because I needed bat drops and I just never went around to do that. Yeah, so we can make interdiction torches. Now these will push mobs away from a certain area. However, I want to go ahead and up my game and make something that will keep mobs away for quite a distance. And this is going to be the thing to do it. This basically prevents mobs from spawning within a certain range. Now I want to place this like sort of in the middle-ish area of our base. You know, why not like right here? It's going to emit light, so might as well place it down. This like super torch. Now, at the moment, there are mobs that are here. But once they're despawned or killed, like nothing should be able to spawn back. Now they still, however, can potentially walk into our base area, but the likelihood of that is probably far and in between. Like these should not spawn anymore. At least in our base. At least that's what I'm hoping they don't spawn anymore. That's the goal. So I also have even better news. At this point, I have updated this pack to its current latest version, and we now have the mod Create. Yes, so finally Create is now in this pack. Of course, it finally got updated to 1.16 and is looking pretty nice. Now, there is a couple of things I do love about Create, right? Has tons of possibilities for creating really cool automation style builds, but it also has some really nice looking blocks in it as well that I really enjoy building with, like these different glass materials, the window panes. Like there's all kinds of cool building stuff on top of that. So, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat a mod that adds some really neat functionality that is fairly simple in its practice, but can be very complex in like what you do with it, right? So there's some really cool stuff we can do. Now, I want to actually get started with it. I have an area already built out that I want to work with. To do this, we need to first start off with some mechanical power, like right off the bat. So a way to get some power is going to be a water wheel. Very simple to make the materials for this. We need andesite alloy, which is just going to be andesite, some iron nuggets, and all of that, which isn't too bad to get. Looks like we also need some buttons, just some regular buttons. All right, let's make some buttons. All right, we're going to need a bit of buttons apparently for all of these gears, so might as well get them made. And then yeah, we just surround this and we get ourselves a water wheel. We're also going to need ourselves some shafts. And then while I'm at it, I might as well make some of these cool wooden brackets that kind of help make these things look a little bit better. And then we also might want something to automate right off the bat. Now, I have messed around with this before, and you can make a very simple cobblestone generator with this mod. I don't know if I want to make a cobblestone generator right off the bat. However, I do want to go ahead and get some power started up so we can start looking into things that we can actually use this power for. You could use it for a cobblestone generator, but we have better options for cobblestone generators in this pack. Now to get started with this mod, all we're going to really need to do is use a water wheel. So to get a water wheel set up, technically all we need to do is technically place this down. So we have a water wheel placed down like so, and then we just need to kind of hollow out the blocks that are underneath it. And then honestly, just 3 blocks here. Look at that, we have a water wheel. Now, this is pretty lame. I don't want to leave it like this. So I do want to kind of build something. And I have sort of used a similar design like this in the past when I've played around with Create before. And I thought it was a great little idea to do it this way. So basically we're going to create a little, like a barrel hanger, I guess you can call that, on top. And this is going to support what is going to be a barrel that is going to look like the barrel is pouring the water out on top of the water wheel. And to do that, all we gotta do is place a barrel simple like this. We can add some more support and some fins to the side. We also probably want to add a slide to the bottom so the water doesn't kind of pour out of the bottom. And then all we gotta do is grab a bucket of water, and we can make this look like water is actually flowing out on top of the water wheel. And it even kind of sped up the water wheel a little bit. it looks like it's flowing on top of the water wheel and then pouring down here. Now to make this even better looking, of course, we can make this an actual like running, like little waterfall here and make it look even cooler, right? Of course, what I tend to like to do is make it almost look like it's kind of eroded a little bit of a an area down below like this. And then of course we can plant some flowers and stuff down there and make it look even better, right? So to make this not flow where it's at, cover it up, because right now it's kind of not where it needs to go anyways. There we go. We have kind of like a little area that's it's flowing to, and then we just fill in with the rest of the dirt and just make it look like it's part of the actual ground, as if nothing ever happened. Look at that. So yeah, we just continue like this. Like for stuff like this, if you don't want the water to be here, I think the best way to do this is to kind of manipulate the water a little bit with the dirt, and you can get things to sort of look like this as well. Pretty cool, actually. What exactly should we do with this power now that we have it? Well, I think we should use it to make a press. That's probably gonna be one of the coolest things we can do right off the bat, and it's going to be probably the most useful. Ooh, there's like arrows now. Interesting. Oh, it lets you just kind of directly connect and kind of points you in that direction. That's kind of neat. I think there's also these things. So I wanted to make these wooden brackets because apparently these are supposed to help make these look better. It says decorate the shafts, cogwheels, and pipes with a cozy wooden little bit of reinforcement. Okay. So that does seem like a little bit of reinforcement there. And there is another thing that's in here, another mod that is, or not a mod, another tool that we could probably use that'd be way more helpful than this. And that is definitely the wrench. So I think getting the metal press up and running is probably gonna be the first little bit of fixing this problem. Let's see, can we get this to go down? Oh yeah, that looks so much better going down like that. So let's put this mechanical power that we just generated to good use. So I kind of have a little bit of an idea going on here that I want to get to work, right? So what we can do is we can actually take some of these cogwheels. I'm going to place a cogwheel here. I know it looks kind of funny, but we can actually place a small cogwheel right here. That's going to spin a little bit faster. And then right above it, I'm going to place another cogwheel. So we have this like little cogwheel thing going on here. Everything is kind of getting direction changed and all kinds of fun stuff. I wonder if this can be placed. Oh, it can. Oh, that's so cool looking. We're going to place a shaft here. And then what I want to do is just a couple places over. Let's see, we can go right here. That should be fine. Place another one of these just to make it look a little bit better. Place that there. We can go ahead and break this. Same for this. I do want another area right there, so we kind of have it the way it looks like it's being supported by something. And then I want to go ahead and place this. Oh, I guess those can't be there, can they? Interesting. So now we have conveyor belts that are running, and that's exactly what I wanted it to be to do. So with this conveyor belt, it's not only like moving this, it's also turning this. So technically, we can put another rod here. And we can have another rod here and extend another conveyor belt if we want. And you can see that the power that is being generated over here is then being transferred over here because of these conveyor belts. Now, this isn't exactly what I'm going for, but I just wanted to kind of demonstrate that that's how the mechanical power is being transferred this way. Now, the reason I have this up here, I actually need some power to go into the mechanical press. This is the mechanical press. I have it placed above a conveyor belt. And if you have it placed above a conveyor belt, all you got to do is toss some material on here, and this will compress it. So if you're familiar with, let's say, the compressor from Immersive Engineering, that's how the metal press from Immersive Engineering kind of works. Very similar to this, except for you have to like hand build this thing right here. It's not like a multi-block. So with that set up, how do we automate this? Well, there are a couple of different ways we can automate this. And if we take a look at create, it does have its own pipes, which are actually really, really nice. So we do have some pipes from the create mod. What other stuff do we have that we can kind of mess with? So right here, here's a fluid pipe. Here's a mechanical pump, smart fluid pipe. Looks like they have some more fluid stuff. I don't remember fluid being like real prominent in the last version I played with. Here's a storage interface. And there should be some more stuff, unless I'm missing it. So this little setup should actually work, I think. Right here we have a chest. We have ourselves an andesite funnel. So when we place this right here, it should pop into here and go right into the chest, just like we hope. And there is our plate. And boom. Okay. Yep. Went right in. Perfect. So we ended up getting exactly what we want. Now I need to send items into here. Now this works a little bit different. Of course, I can just toss the items here. I don't think that they will go onto the conveyor belt. You can see right here that that is not how it works. Now there is an upgrade for this. It does require some brass that will give us the portable storage. And this right here, portable storage interchange point for moving items. So that is another little thing that we could use technically to move items. We probably also use a hopper. So I was playing around and turns out, yeah, you can use it just like this too. So you place a funnel directly on top of the conveyor belt and it will automate this process. All you got to do is put the items in the chest and you're good to go. So this right here technically is an automated mechanical press. Very simple, and it just runs off of water. After pressing all that, and I mean, things getting a little bit pressing there. All right, I'm going to stop. All right, so let's go ahead and make the wrench. This right here is going to help us out so much. We can do things like rotate these blocks now, which make it a little bit nicer. Yeah, we can actually like pop things off by shift right clicking, and it just kind of, you know, gives it right back to you, which is a really nice feature. So we don't have to sit here and break things all over all the time. But this little setup is kind of about all it is. So I made a little choo-choo clock, and we place it anywhere, it's going to stop this up. So at the moment, we kind of have this maxed out as far as mechanical power goes. This water wheel is giving me about as much as it possibly can give, and anything else we add to it is going to make it overstressed. Now there are ways to fix this, but the best way is to probably move on away from water wheels and get on with something better. Now there are a couple different ways we can make brass in here. We can use Create to make brass, or I can actually make brass some other way. Now brass is going to be a pretty nice upgrade into this mod, because Create is pretty much reliant on it. You can see brass is just used for everything. We can make brass, thankfully, inside of our induction smelter. It's going to be copper and zinc. So luckily we've had zinc laying around, and we don't have to like bring it into the world. Zinc, if I can spell zinc, or Z-I-N. Wow, what is wrong with me? And then copper, right? So we have a bit of copper, a bit of zinc. All we have to do is go down here into our little I don't even know what to call this down here. Our like a little chamber of machines. I've already like stopped this. I stopped this. Really, this room is like dying slowly. Like this is our little thermal room, but it's just slowly like dying. And if you didn't notice, I did tear down the bee sanctuary that was right here, because we did recreate a new one that's over here. That's kind of you know, using the bees that we want, and of course this can be expanded on whenever I feel like expanding it. But yeah, man, we got so much stuff going on, and I wanted to do something with this area. I don't even know if this is going to stay here very long, because I kind of want to terraform this landscape. We might do it during a live stream, and where we completely change this whole landscape here and make it into something that'll be really cool for messing around with the create machines. So while we're waiting for our brass to kind of be created, we can start looking at this. So mechanical crafters are something we're actually going to need in order to start crafting some of the more advanced stuff in Create, some of the really fun stuff. And we need electron tubes for that. This requires its own little step of crafting. Polished rose quartz requires its own little thing. You can see we need to make some sandpaper, which is going to be paper and sand, right? So we can make this, but we also need to make the rose quartz, which is quartz and sandstone. And we need to rub these together. It says right here that we need to put the, okay, it says the polish item held in the offhand or laying on the floor when looking at the item. Okay, so I think we put this item in our offhand, and you can see we rub them together by just holding right click, and yeah, we get ourselves polished rose quartz. And we need to do this quite a few times. Probably, I'm going to make at least 16 of them. So put this in my offhand, make sure the sandpaper's in there, and basically just keep doing this until it looks like we're eating it and that makes the sound. But just rub this together until we use up the entire sandpaper, and then of course we can make more. So to kind of further our crafting in this mod, we do have to make ourselves mechanical crafter. That's going to require some brass, and we're going to need, I think, 21 of these in total. So of course this does add up pretty quickly since we are crafting 3 at a time. So that's usually not the problem. So let's go ahead and get 20. I'm missing some of these tubes as I was playing around with them earlier. As I was making some of the Nixie tubes that are in here, I kind of want to show those off as well. They're kind of cool. You can actually use them with name tags to make like custom signs, which is kind of awesome. Okay, so I ended up making 3 more than I actually need, I believe. But what we need to do with these is basically place them like so, and they're going to go in a pattern. First, you make a 9x9, or a 3x3, and then we're going to have one off to each side, like this. And basically, we have ourselves a little bit of a crafter here. Let's take a look at one of the biggest recipes in Create, and we're going to see how we need to set this up. So you can see right here, it's going to be 3 on each side all the way around. Yeah, this thing gets absolutely huge. So 3 on each side, just like this, all the way around. And this is the ultimate size that we have. Now, as you can see, we have little gears here. So what I can do is technically set up a little water wheel right on the back. And I think this whole thing can be powered via a water wheel. If we have to go up higher in the tier, we definitely will. But I think we can do this with a single water wheel. Let's get a bucket and let's try this out. A lot of this is just trial and error for me because this mod, even though I've messed around with it a little bit, it is still fairly new to me. So this mod definitely is still kind of new. So let's go ahead and place this here. We'll get our water wheel fit in just like that. Let's go ahead and place this wood back so we have somewhere to place our water wheel. There's our water wheel gone in. Perfect. And then right here, we should be able to put a shaft or a gearbox. I think a gearbox would work, but a small shaft should work as well. So create, and then we have a cog wheel, just a small one. And then we also need ourselves a shaft. So I think a shaft would go here. And then we have a small cog wheel right here. All right, you see right here, it's overstressed. So this means that technically this water wheel is just not going to cut it. It is just not going to cut it. It's just too much to power for this little cog wheel. So at the moment, we're just not generating enough power. So a good way to fix this is to probably upgrade to the next level and go to a windmill. And to make a windmill is very simple. And of course, you can go above and beyond. I've gone like insane before. If you want, you need to kind of follow the instructions that are kind of listed in here when you hold shift. It'll tell you a little bit about some of the information that you need to know. I don't remember the exact numbers of how far you can actually extend out on these things, but I'm going to kind of show you what you need. So to make a simple windmill that's going to generate a significant amount of power, it's going to have a stress capacity that is large, as you can see, as a generator. So what we need is the windmill bearing, and you're also going to need some radial chassis, just really one, honestly, but you do get 3 when you craft it. And then what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and place down a log right here. And that's just going to give me a little bit of wiggle room. And then since we have cork installed, I can simply place this block here. And you can see it's kind of facing out one away from this block. And what I want to do from now is I want to place down a single radial chassis. Now, each side of these is just going to be plain. Like nothing's going to stick to it with the way it's setting right now. So to get something to stick, we need to go ahead and slap some slime on here. And I hate that it is just now nighttime. Now that we have the slime slapped on all of the sides here, sounds so weird slapping slime on the sides. We need to take some wool. And I'm just going to go with a simple design. Honestly, you could just place wool out on all 3 sides like this. If you want, you could probably just place one wool. Like, it doesn't really matter. You can place wool like this if you want. Because once you have this built, you just basically click this block with an empty hand, just right click it, and it activates it. And you can see right here that it's going to start working. Now, the more wool and stuff you have on here, and I think sails, there's like specific things now that will work. The more you have, of course, the better off it's going to work. I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit more fancy by adding these little sections here. Little offsets. Just to make it look like it's something. You can even slap a trapdoor on the front, I think. Just to kind of make it look like it's not, you know, just out in the open. Kind of fits when you have that on there. When we right click this, you can see it's going to start working. Look at that. And you can see that's going to stay stationary while everything else is moving. This is a great way, by the way, to get things to move in Minecraft. It's a beautiful mod. Now, I want to take the power that this is generating, though, and I want to put it towards this. Because right now, we can't craft anything. So, all you got to do is take a shaft, or you could use a gearbox. Gearbox is going to work as well. It'll kind of hide these things. But we just place this on here, and you can see now it's all spinning. All of these are actually spinning now, which is exactly what we want. So at the moment, you might notice something a little bit strange. All of these arrows are pointing up, and we don't really want it to point up. We want it to point to a central location. And I think for me, I want everything to export right here to the very bottom. So what I want to do is I want to eventually get everything pointed into the bottom. So to do this, let's go ahead and get everything pointed to the middle first. So we can have everything sort of sorted to the middle. And I'm just using the wrench to turn these. And then I want the middle to get everything to the very center. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I'm basically turning all of these to get them pointed directly into the center. And then I want to rotate this down, all the way down to the very bottom here. And bam, you can see that this should inevitably get all of the crafting done and then craft it down here. Hopefully, that's how I envision it anyways. So let's go ahead and try and craft something, right? So right here is a flywheel. This is actually one part of a multi-part that can create more power for us. You can see right here it's going to require some brass, but it's crafted inside this mechanical crafting setup. This one's a little bit weird. You can see it requires something on the outside and then 8 brass on the middle and then 1 brass casing. So let's go to make a brass casing, or I guess we already have one, and let's grab some brass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this right here on the outside, and then we're going to place 1 brass on each side, just like that. And then what I should be able to do is I should be able to start the power here, and hopefully this will start to craft. That's the what I hopefully want to happen. I think there's something I have to do, and I've already forgotten what I needed to do after this point. So I went ahead and changed some things. So I added some of these vertical gearboxes. This just allows you to manipulate the direction from which your mechanical energy is being transferred. But I have it set up now where I just basically deleted, I just removed some of the crafters so we have exactly what we need for this. And it works. It works. So I do want to show this. At this point, I have everything routed to go around. This connects, and then eventually we have it going to an output. So you do need at least 1 output set up, and then, or you do only need 1 output. Everything else needs to be going into each other. So we can go ahead and now place all these in, and once they're in, you'll see it kind of highlights gold. It takes a moment because this is going pretty slow. Our windmill is not the fastest in the world, and you can see it's going to slowly start creeping around. This is going to go into this. This is going to go into this. It's all going to make its way right here. Yes, I know. It's going to take a little bit of time. And it's getting so close. It has taken a little bit of time. Of course, you can speed this up with making a better windmill. And then it should all go to the bottom here. And... oh, man, it's... Yep. There it goes. And... perfect. So, there's our output. As it slowly spits out the item that we've been waiting for this entire time. Yes. The flywheel. So, the flywheel. You can place it down. It's not going to do anything because we actually need to craft something else entirely. But at least the something else is going to be a little bit easier to set up because all we got to do is place another crafter right here in the center. And of course, align this a little bit differently. I think with this, you can align everything going like straight down and then converging into the center. And then that would work from there. Now, the other thing that I want to make is the furnace engine. So this is going to require a piston. another brass casing, some of the actual brass sheets that we made, and that's not going to be too horrible to get around, right? We should have just about everything ready to go. So piston, and yeah, that's what we need. So now that I have all the items in here, as you can see, I put that in there, and this should go a little bit faster. We have our pathing definitely going quicker this time. We have everything that's just going to head straight down and then converge in the center instead of going all the way around in a circle. Yeah, this is going to be much quicker. Last but not least, our items are being processed here, and this is going to get us one of our first like actual machines, which is kind of nice. And we can use this to make power. You can just sort of spit it out here, and we should be able to pull it out. Perfect. Now, to get this to work, we are going to need a furnace, like actually a regular furnace. I know, crazy. So we have our furnace. Let's just go ahead and set this up so we can visualize it. So we have our furnace, and I believe we can place the flywheel right here. And then when we place this on top of the furnace, we should probably need to place it on the right side. Let me see if I can... Actually, it probably needs to go here. You place this over the furnace, and then right here goes our flywheel. And then so long as something's cooking in here and actually processing, so if we have like wood, for example, say we put some wood in here, and then we also put some cobble, because say we're smelting up some cobblestone. This will start creating some force and start spinning. Look at that. It is actually creating some rotational force here, and it's large. So it is equivalent to this pretty much as far as force goes. Now, getting this to power this, all you have to do is pretty much set up the same little system. We don't have to have this anymore. So we can get rid of all of this stuff. And we're actually going to set up a better system for this that is going to be utilizing this. Of course, yeah, we're going to have to make sure we have fuel in it, but I mean, that's not a huge deal. So I went ahead and moved this, and I think it looks a little bit better being over here than over here. And I added some lights. So we have our same little machine that's running right back here that is powering everything. And so what we should be able to do is just slap a cog wheel on here. That will get that nice and powered up. Now, this should be a little bit faster than what we were using before. Now, to set this up, all I want to do is actually make one of the biggest crafting recipes that we have here. So create, we're going to be making ourselves a crushing wheel. So actually 2 crushing wheels. For this, we need a bunch of andesite alloy. And we're going to line all of that up all the way around, just like that. Then it's going to be a stone in the center and 4 pieces of wood. Once that's done, everything should turn to gold like that. And look how quickly this is crafting now. That's a whole lot faster in my opinion. And yeah, all courtesy of this. And of course, we can make more than one of these. So we actually need to make some more of these because I really like how these function. Now, getting them to set up and constantly run, now that's another story, as these will eventually burn out. Look at there. Now we have ourselves our wheels. A pair of giants. And when it says giants, these are kind of large. And you can see that. We can also use this to technically power these things as well. That would be probably pretty useful. Well, guys, I hope you had fun with some Create. Of course, today I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, and that is going to be Brewski. By the way, if you guys are a Patreon currently and you have definitely signed up over there on the Patreon, I just want to say thank you so much. I will eventually get to your name, I promise. By the way, I hope you enjoy the Christmas outfit that I am in now. Oh, man. Yeah, definitely I will getting to your name as the videos go on. I am going in order. So eventually I will get to you. I promise. I promise. And guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Of course, if you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Of course, I'll see you guys in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.